and then I will pass it over to Officer Scott for his reports.
Good evening, Junction. I'm not sure. I don't know if Kayla has the report that I sent to her last week on your crime stats. Do you have that available, Kayla? Can you share that or?
Yeah, let me get it pulled up for you. Give me a couple seconds.
Well, while she's getting that, I'll just say, this month's report, I did something a little bit different. What I did is I included what I felt or what you may feel would be like the 4 major crimes or incidents that would happen in your area or your neighborhood. Those include homicide, robbery, aggravated assault or felonious assault, and burglary and or breaking and entering to a business, burglary to a resident, breaking and entering for a business. And what I did is I did a statistical analysis of the last 4 years. So I started in 2018 and gave each crime the crime stats for your area for that particular crime. And the reason why I did 4 years because I wanted to do 2 years pre-pandemic and then 2 years after the pandemic, so you can see, the crime that's happening within your community, and those areas are bounded by the shaded area on the map. Let's see. Okay, I see it's up now. And then on the bottom of there is just your regular monthly stats for the last 30 days. I didn't know if everybody had gotten a copy of that or not.
We can send it out to everyone after this.
Okay. All right. So if you look at the top of it, you'll see that most of your crimes are less than they were in 2018. I think the only one that saw an increase was possibly the robbery. I can't see it. You shifted down too far. Go back all the way up to the top. Yeah, the robbery. There were three more robberies in 2021 than there were in 2018. But other than that, the other 3 crimes, you see the numbers are lower than they were in 2018. The major exception is your aggravated assault. You had like 68 in 2020, but then you only had 41 last year. Another major drop was your burglaries. And I believe the pandemic may have played a role in that, with more people being home, more often during those 2 years, that may have helped mitigate some of that. But we'll take a win where we can get them. I don't know. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I've noticed that there's been a major increase in discharge. It's some sort of discharge in a firearm, like they just discharged it or maybe shot in the air or something to that effect. Why do you think that is?
Well, what it is they're actually being reported now. Remember, the crimes that I report to you are crimes that have been reported. In your area, you now have the ShotSpotter system. So it's picking up those calls, even if nobody called. So if nobody called, though nobody has called and reported that shots fired, we're getting that information and creating a report behind that.
Okay,
does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
Any other questions? Ms. Preston, I thank you. I will stay on for a couple more minutes, but I do have a prior another engagement to go to shortly. So I will be on for a few more minutes, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we will go ahead and move to our programs. So Megan.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me well. I am in a public area right now. The first thing I want to talk about is the Joy Job Fair. The Joy Job Fair will be this Thursday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Our keynote speaker is going to be Congresswoman Capter. We have Met Parks, Marines, the Goodwill, and the McClare Group. They are a staffing group. They're going to be hiring for Service Spring, which is a spring. They literally manufacture springs. That's going to be our first set of partners. We're still setting up and organizing for the 31st. Thursday's all set with partners. The emails have been sent out. The flyers have also been sent out, as well as the info sheets. Kayla sent out an email earlier today for members. I'm not sure how many participants it was, Kayla, but in the email it said that you wanted a particular number of participants per board member.
Yes, 2.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So registration, when I left work today, it was 2:00 and we had 2 people register. So we're trying to get that stacked up. So if you can share the flyers that were sent out on social media, that would be great. If you have nieces and nephews and cousins, go ahead and send them the registration link and we'll make sure they're all set to attend on Thursday. The next event will be March 31st, which is next Thursday. And April 7th after that, and then the 14th following that, that'll be the last one. Aside from that, we have the UT Big Event, which we have put together with the soft opening. So the UT Big Event will start at 10:30. It is a volunteer event. We're gonna have 50 students from the university come out into Junction. They're gonna do a community cleanup and restore some of the garden as well. I know Dave wanted to do a mural, so we'll have them do that as well. This is, again, a volunteer thing. So if you know of any other groups that you're a part of that would like to volunteer, that will be wonderful. They can just call or email me and we can get that set up. I know we've got the Collin Garden. They've already reached out. They want to come and participate. And that's an organization we've worked with before. That's on Saturday, the 26th. So all these things, these 2 items are 2 days apart. So we're really busy this week. After that is the grand opening, which Miss Alicia wants to happen on Earth Day. So the official Earth Day is the 22nd of April, but we're going to celebrate that Saturday, which is going to be the 23rd of April. We're going to actually put plants in the ground. And that will be the grand opening for the building as well. So it'll be another huge event with volunteers and partners and supporters. That's all I've got for right now. Does anyone have anything?
Megan, can you just throw your contact information in the chat if they do have questions, since I know you are out and about working?
Yes, no problem. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Megan. I apologize for my daughter in the background. We can go ahead and move to the safety committee. I do believe Mr. Kinney is on.
I don't have anything to report out on. Mr. Fagan is on as well, so maybe they can give some updates about the gas station, the spot, those things.
As far as the spot is concerned, by the weather just now breaking, this is the time we're really gonna have to figure out if they're gonna abide by the things that they said they were gonna do for our safety and people not hanging out, all the trash and litter and stuff up there. Because it's been winter, it's been cold, and people not standing outside in the cold. So I guess basically it was agreed upon by city council and everybody. I think they have until June, I think it is. June or maybe July, before they go back in front of city council. And then at that time, Junction will decide whether what they're gonna recommend or not. As far as the gas station is concerned, they've added cameras, security. It's been a lot better up there throughout the winter and the beginning of the weather changing. They also had several meetings with Junction, trying to work out a community benefits agreement and talks about rebuilding up there and Junction possibly partnering with them on I think it was an ice cream shop, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on that. I'm not for sure. Um and what was the other thing you said? The
No,
gas
I was
station.
inquiring about those too. So the gas station. So they're having meetings about the gas station with Junction, and who is involved in those meetings?
Miss Alicia was involved in those meetings, so I'm not for sure the end result or the end outcome of those meetings. I sat in on one, and like I said, if I'm correct, I did sit in on one, and I do know that we've been getting a lot of reports that it's a lot better up there. Um, I don't know if a community benefits agreement was signed or anything like that with them or anything like that, but I know the new owners are really adamant on trying to clean the place up.
Hello, this is Alicia. Just to update the hello everyone, Mr. Kenny. There's been 3 meetings. One has been with the community. That was the very first one. Then the second one was with the owners, Mr. Hamed, where he wanted to share with us that his commitment to getting something together for a community benefit agreement to support all of the events that go on in Junction, and things that might be beneficial to the young people in Junction, the Junction neighborhood. And then the third meeting was where he met with OC, where he could get some support for trying to expand his business and take advantage of some of the facade and different grants that are available to our business owners. And so that's where we are right now. I hope that answered the question.
Yes.
Far as the lighting is concerned in the neighborhood, the city has been replacing the lights little by little. They keep saying it's going to be a slow process, so on and so forth. With that, I think the streets that needed the most is Campbell, if I'm correct. And they just keep saying, due to them working down there and different stuff like that, that they'll get to it. I don't think I have anything else to report out for our safety.
Mr. Fagan, I think it might be beneficial for us to get in touch with Edison and see if they can get us a forward-facing map of when and how what's the plan, because they have to have a plan for replacement, and even with the city, because this has been long standing. So if they could do that, that would be great.
Okay, yep, I'll get on it first thing in the morning.
Yep, and you ought to reach out to Mr. Rivers too, because he's really championed that, and he knows of all the contacts, and he's actually been out and about to see and to communicate with city officials as well. So reach out to Mr. Rivers.
Okay.
Are there any other questions as far as safety? Alrighty, we are going to move along to housing. Miss Eunice.
Yes, good evening, everybody. What I have is we're having an outreach at Pickett School next week on Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. And it will be with our community partners, Lucas Housing Services Corp. On their program, Work Your Way Home, and also Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity on their home ownership program, which is going to be focused on the Junction East Side Housing Collaborative, which is the 6-block project that we are partners with. And again, it's going to be at Pickett School. It'll be from 3 to 5 p.m. And please come and join us to get information on those programs. We're also going to have NeighborWorks Toledo region there. So if anyone wants to sign up and register for their pre-purchase classes so you can get your homeowners certificate, they will be there as well. And that's all I have for the community, program, the meeting for today.
I have something, it's gonna be on Thursday, March 31st at 11 o'clock. It's called the First Time Home Buyers Workshop. It's gonna be a Zoom. With that, the flyer says the home buying process, help to get qualified, financing options, prepare for home ownership, the closing process, and much more. The following experts will be on hand to help you purchase a home at last. The City of Toledo Department of Neighborhoods of Toledo, Huntington Banks, State Bank, and more. And it says home ownership is reality for everyone. And it's being hosted by Preferred Properties Incorporated. So if you have any questions, you can call 419-244-9609, extension 311. I guess that will be put in the chat.
Okay. Where is the location?
It's going to be Zoom.
Oh, Zoom. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Zoom. You did say that at the beginning. I'm sorry.
That's no problem. But that's going to be Thursday at 11 o'clock a.m., March 31st.
Oh, thank you.
So for the Pickett event, Eunice, what will the partners be doing? What is this, just a discussion? What are they?
So what it is I want to make sure we get people signed up for those programs. And Maumee Valley, someone from Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity and someone from Lucas Housing Services Corp will be there to talk about, what you need to do to sign up for the programs. And then I have NeighborWorks there because one of the first things that people need to do get their home classes up.
I'm not getting that, Eunice. You're broken up. I don't know what's going on. That's just on my end. I don't know if anybody else can hear you.
Is there so you can get your pre-purchase certificate, because these programs take a minute. You follow me? So say for instance, home ownership. That home ownership pre-purchase class is going to be 4 weeks. So they need to, make that commitment for 4 weeks, or they can make a commitment for 1 full day on a Saturday, or they can take the class online. But it's a cost to take the class online. So that is the first thing people always want to get out the way when it comes to being a first-time home buyer. So then the next step would be, okay, I did reach out to Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity, and I also reached out to Lucas Housing Services Corp. What program fits my needs for my family? That's what's important. They get the information they need to understand the home buying process. They go and they apply for a program to make sure they qualify. Then the next phase is to meet with a lender to see if you can get your pre-approval. So then within that pre-approval process,
Put in the chat.
within that pre-approval process,
I'll put it in the chat.
then you see if you can qualify for down payment and closing cost assistance. So I don't want people to put the cart before the horse or be all over the place. It is a specific process when it comes to mortgage lending that you want to follow so you can really be successful in that. And then I don't want people to get discouraged saying, well, I did this, but yeah, but you didn't do that. So these are the steps that we want our people to take in order to become successful in buying a home. So that's how the process goes. And if anyone is interested, yes, the Maumee Valley and Lucas Housing Services Corp will be there to talk about their programs.
Ms. Eunice,
Yes.
is it a possible way that Junction can create a brochure for, you know, the home ownership or home buying 101? I know that these processes have been in place. What the city is attempting to do on the 31st, our program, and many times residents keep coming back saying that there's so many criteria, there's so much unknown information. By the time they get to it, they're out, you know, they're just wore out from the process. Is that something that Junction, the housing committee can do for them?
Okay, that's something that I can do. I can go ahead and submit like, or give you guys a flow chart of what that process looks like. So even if I can do that. Even if someone did not apply for down payment assistance or anything like that, home buying is a process how can I say this? It's not a quick process. It is not. It takes some time because people need to understand all the parties involved in that transaction. And then they need to make sure that they're adhering to what the lender is requiring. And those guidelines are set by the federal government, set by Fannie Mae, and they're set by Freddie Mac. They're not set by the city of Toledo, and they're not set by the lenders and stuff. They have to adhere to those guidelines. If they don't, then they're going to be in violation. And then a bank, a finance company, a housing counseling agency, then they can get in trouble and get fined. So that's what we need to communicate to the community and them understanding that process. So I can do a flow chart and show them, if you go this route and buy a house through the Lucas County Land Bank, this is that process. If you buy a house through a lender, this is that process. If you buy a house and you are buying a house in a low to moderate income community, this is that process. And so forth like that. And you are right, Alicia, a lot of people are frustrated because once they think they qualify for a loan, they think they qualify for everything, and that's not the case.
And I know, Ms. Eunice, that you're going to be, so one, that's going to be great because, you know, you think you know what you know, but it's totally different from year to year. Yep. And I think that having the different processes of who you're buying the homes from and what's required will be helpful. My last question is that something that maybe, and I know that our community is on, maybe we can host a webinar or something to where we can talk our language. So it's many times when you're going to other facilities or training sites, the language is so above where they, you know, who is Fannie Mae? Who is Freddie Mac? Who are these people?
Oh, Miss Alicia, I would love to, girl, you know, I would love to do that. Yes, I would love to. If we have to have those every month, I would love to do something like that. So that way, the more informed the community is about it, the better decisions they'll make for their family, and the better prepared they'll be for when they go to, start that home buying process. I would
Right.
love to do that.
If you
Yes.
even some of the veteran benefits, what is the benefit of, for veterans? Because many of our veterans that are homeless don't understand that there are benefits that come along with them. And that's all. That would be great. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I will do that. I will set those up as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions? I could talk housing till I'm blue in the face.
So just to reiterate, this is a community meeting, and I know there are several Junction people on, so we want community members. Feel free to ask questions, and even if it's not about housing, this is set up for the community to talk about things that are going on within and around the community. So feel free to speak up about anything that you guys want to know about, or any issues that you have, because a closed mouth will never get fed.
That's right. And Kenny, I did look into some things with the family house, so I'm going to be reaching back out too. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Most definitely.
I don't know if any announcements have been made, but I want our community members knowing. I know that Pastor Guilford is on. Thank you so much for your wonderful support, and I did receive your dues. And for everyone that didn't know, I've been absent due to the loss of my father, but I'm attempting to come back online, and I'm very thankful and appreciative of all the work that the directors, the staff, and the board has continued to do while I've been gone. But I'm looking forward to re-engaging the community, and I know that we're going to be having a soft opening Saturday, where you'll see people out and cleaning up and doing amazing things. That's also going to be an opportunity for, if you see Mr. Fagan and other canvassers out in the community, please, tell them what it is. I'm thinking that maybe we can have postcards and people can write down what their concerns are, because maybe they don't want to say it out loud. They just may want to just give a card and say, this is something that we need to focus on as a community. I also want you all to know that Junction Coalition has done a host of work. Junction community has stood with us throughout the process, and you'll hear now a whole bunch of different coalitions coming up, a whole bunch of different things happening. But don't get discouraged. Don't worry about any of that. Sometimes a collective work, even if it's not just an individual work, is better. And we've learned that a cooperative, collective process can many times be more beneficial. So what we can do together and how we can get better together is going to be great. So please, as Kenny said, if there's something you need to email, Kayla can put our emails in the chat box. If there's something that you just is burning for you, I know that we've lost about many young women and men who have left children behind. And I know that the Isaiah Thomas Giving Foundation is going to be doing some work. And I sent that to you, Mr. Fagan. So I don't know if you were going to make that announcement, but really starting to get back into supporting our community. COVID hasn't gone away. So making sure that if people need masks, they know that Junction does have masks, and possibly doing some water giveaway, because with the filter and the infrastructure, we received $10 million for the lead line replacements, but how much of that money is going into lead line education? And so we will be taking on some of that just for our community. So I just wanted to share some of those updates. We're also, tomorrow morning, Junction will be featured in a film from Ohio State University that Ina Sidney and others within the Water Task Force have helped to create, and that's going to be go nationwide on tomorrow. I'll make sure that you have a link.
Thank you, Miss Alicia. That was actually everything that was coming up was announcements. We are going to reiterate all of the events that we have coming up, and I'll also put those in the chat. But as Megan said at the beginning of the meeting, all of our events, all the flyers, everything about them is posted on the website and our Facebook page, and I will add those in the chat as well. So everyone can have that information as well. Were there any community questions for anybody? Anything just overall?
Kayla, can you put you did it already. I was just gonna say the website, because our calendar is updated on a regular basis. Kayla keeps that updated. So you can, if there's things you forget, you can always go to the website. It is your website, community. All of this belongs to you.
And if there are any other events happening in the community that Junction just hasn't heard about yet, feel free to reach out to me. I can put my email in the chat and we can get that posted as well. There is a hand raised. Michelle? Michelle, did you have a question?
She may be muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actual question, is there any dues that I would have to pay since I don't live over in Junction, but I'm next door to you because I'm in Inglewood.
Hi, Miss Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Miss Alicia.
Thank you so much for joining us. And community is community. And
Okay.
so the dues are $10 a month. And you are free to pay them as a partner. We do have partner dues, we have institution dues, and all of that is broken down on the website. So yes,
Okay.
ma'am, please feel free. Our building is at 419 Junction. You can mail them in if you want to drop them off. We're in the building Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 4 for sure. Those are our fall hours. We are going to be going into our spring hours moving forward.
Mhm.
And so looking forward to having some engagement soon.
Yeah. And then I like to bring up another, it's happening in your area, Operation It Takes a Village. They're going to have a event April 4th, and is ran by Carla Balcom, and she took ownership of the 4 families of the 4 girls that was murdered by DV. She had 2 girls that was murdered on on Vance, and then she had Alicia and Whitney Wade, and they having a big fundraiser April 3rd at the park. So so far, Ashley Darrington family has been adopted, and Whitney Wade has been adopted, and they're going to give them, funding support for a year or more. So that will take place at the Ottawa Park shelter from the time of 1 to 4, and they will be collecting items. And I can send out a flyer to your website and let you know about that.
I also just posted the information in the chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wonderful. Kayla, it's back in your hands.
I was just about to unmute. Is there any other community remarks, any questions before we wrap up the rest of our meeting?
Hi, Kayla and everybody.
Hi.
This is Mama Lynn. I just wanted to add a couple of things, if I might.
Yes, ma'am.
At the city council meeting on last Tuesday, there were a couple of ordinances that were passed. One was amending the Toledo Municipal Code water regulation by enacting a new Toledo Municipal Code. Lead service lines prohibited. So lead service lines are prohibited. Then lastly, the ordinance was passed authorizing the appropriation and expenditure of $10 million from the local fiscal recovery fund for the full lead service line replacement. So these contractors, they're going to be required to replace the existing lead lines in your home from the curb box to the house, into the house, and tie it into the existing water meter. So it'll be a full lead line, service lead line replacement at no cost to the owner. Thank you.
Mama Lynn, could you please get in touch with me? I want us to go about finding out what the process is for education towards public health. You know, in regards to the filters, sampling the water, making sure that lead isn't getting into the water when these lead lines are being replaced.
Okay.
All right, thank
Also,
you.
if we can add to that, if you guys don't mind me commenting, is, you know, something centered around cultural competency for the contractors. So what we want to do is we want to be respectful, but we also want people that are coming into our homes to be respectful to us and everything as well. So those are some of the challenges that I have experienced myself personally. And then I've also heard other family members and everything experience when they have contractors come into our communities, especially BIPOC communities, communities of color and everything, that, you know, they have contractors have a tendency to be rude and disrespectful.
And there are several of us on this line that can attest to that, unit. So I think that when Mama Lynn and I meet, it would be good if you were. Then that way we can put together a request based on community principles for infrastructure development and repair.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And if there is
And just as a side note, I don't know if everyone knows, but the city is going through the process of replacing the water meters. Now, the thing about the water meters, they're supposed to be able to read from downtown, see your usage, if there was a break, you know, and this kind of thing. The thing about it is that it will not be live for probably another year or two. So even though you have the new meter, it's still a good idea to, and I think it's maybe by the 24th, because they still do estimates to verify. So to check your meter, look at the numbers, and then call them in to make sure you get an accurate reading. Because what they're doing is with those estimates, I don't know what their baseline is, but they're coming up with a number. And if you look at your water bill on those estimated times, they're pretty consistent with the same number, because typically my actual readings, they're billing me for like $51, but the actual is like $78. So that was an issue. Okay, so they're going through doing all this stuff, but we still need to go behind them. And I know it's unfortunate because with this new technology they have, they're supposed to be able to monitor, but it's not up and running fully as of yet. So just make sure you check your meters.
Wonderful. Is there any other important news that we need to know about, information, any questions? Alrighty, did you have anything, Daddy Donna? I know you unmuted.
I have a question. The soft opening on Saturday, is that from 10 to 4 or is it 1 to 4?
The community cleanup is from 10 to 2, and the actual soft opening is from 2 to 4.
Okay, thank you.
Mike.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Javon. If there are no more questions, you can feel free to email us. I know for the most part, everyone's email is in the chat. If not, we will definitely get the concern or question to the right person. Make sure that you like us on Facebook. That is where we post all of our flyers as well as all of our other social media. And make sure that you do check out our website for any calendar updates as well. Miss Leisha, did you want to say anything? I just know you came on.
No, ma'am. I just came on because it's been a minute since I've seen everybody and vice versa. So I just wanted to come on and say thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say it enough. Appreciate everything that each of you have done. And I'm excited for what we're going to be doing moving forward. I see the Graces are on and they have an amazing building and great things that are going to be happening. The Junction Park will go in this summer, where we will have our amphitheater, and I'm sure Mr. Grace and his companion probably are going to want to be the first to come out and show off some of the talent. So just wonderful things. I know Pastor Guilford is probably going to want to do some things with the young people. We have reading going on. We have our summer program getting ready to start being put together. And please, if there's anything that our partners want to do together, let me know. I look forward to it and we can make it happen. Thank you.
It's Mama Lynn again. I'm sorry. I just want to remind or advise that there is a primary election on May the 3rd. So I didn't know if everybody was aware of that or not, but there's a primary election May the 3rd. In addition to that, my brother, Michael Hood, is running for county commissioner. So he would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Emily, is it possible for you to get us a all of who's running those type of the slate that you generally get for us? Can you do that?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mama Lynn, and thank you, Miss Alicia. If there are no more questions or concerns, everyone can have an amazing night. I know the weather is still warm outside. We did record this meeting, so it will be on our YouTube. If you did miss anything or want to hear anything back, we will have that uploaded on Saturday morning. Have a great night, everyone. No
Thank
problem.
you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Of course, of course.